Hey everyone, so it's me, Anthony. As you know, I'm on the last week of my 30 days of fitness. Next month it's going to be 30 days of something else. So as you know, I've been going around and I've been working out and exercising and speaking to all the pros in the health and fitness industry, and I am so happy today. I am here with Dr. Nathan, and he's going to introduce himself in a second, but he's amazing. Last week I came in because I was doing Barry's boot camp and I had pulled a hamstring and I was in so much pain. And AIM, which is next door to my business, I thought, great solution. And I met Dr. Nathan a while ago, so I decided to come and see him, and I think it's a perfect opportunity to speak to him all about health, fitness, and rehabbing and making yourself a better person because of it. So I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Nathan. Hello. I just call you Dr. Nathan because I just like the formality of it. I call anyone that has any type of degree or anything, or I always like to honor that for them, because I think it's you've worked very hard to get to where you've got, and I think it's a title that needs to be said because you are professional, and that's how I see things. So tell us a little bit about you and how you got started in your journey into health and everything else, and you clearly work out, so tell us a little bit about that too.
Okay, well that's a whole bunch of questions. But first, let me just say thank you, Anthony, for this opportunity.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure to spend this time with you today.
Beautiful.
Okay. So if I start babbling on,
babble away.
Feel free to redirect me. So, okay, the first question is, how did I end up here and doing what I do in life? So that's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
I basically, going all the way back, I kind of barely made it through high school.
Wow.
I ended up joining the military. I was in the infantry for 3 years.
Wow.
When I got out, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life.
Okay.
And I actually heard a radio commercial for a massage therapy school.
Great.
So then I was kind of like, okay, let's figure it out. I had this calling to it. There were a couple other opportunities, but I was like, no, I was drawn to that. And that was 19 years ago. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You barely look 19.
Oh, well, thank you. It's all the working out, which I'll get to in a second.
Okay.
So as a massage therapist, I spent, many years massaging in different places, such as like Arizona, Colorado.
Yeah.
Eventually, my wife and I ended up out here.
Beautiful.
In California. I ended up in a day spa environment.
Yep.
So I started off there as a massage therapist, and I was working my way up the day spa ladder.
Gotcha.
So eventually I ended up in a leadership position.
Yep.
In their main location. So then they decided to downsize.
Oh, wow.
So they're kind of like everybody, they sold off their 6 day spas, and then they sold the original entity to a European interest. So the whole place got shook up.
Wow.
So here I am. Now this was about 6 years ago, I guess, 7 years ago. And I'm like, well, I've got this opportunity and I never got to go to college. So how can I better help people?
Yeah.
How can I understand the body more? How can this work well with what I already know?
You bet.
So I had a discussion, and then I decided to go to college and then go to chiropractic college. So, yes.
And that decision to go to chiropractic college, how did that segue into what you're doing now, and how has that benefited your career?
Oh, it's incredible. It just really took my knowledge base, and as you can imagine, just like blew it up, helped me to understand things better, how to help people heal better.
Which you did, and I'm perfectly fine. After a week, I'm back to running, and I'm back to working out, and I'm back to, I wouldn't say perfect health, because I'll never be in perfect health, but I'm back to being the way I was before I came to see Dr. Nathan.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. That's good feedback.
Yeah, and I know your name isn't Dr. Nathan, it's Dr. What's your last name?
Luzinski. So you can just say Dr. Nathan is fine.
Okay. And the reason why I was calling to Dr. Nathan is because I couldn't pronounce the last name. So
sure,
Luzinski?
Luzinski.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, that's okay, Dr. Nathan.
Okay.
So what I do is I spend a lot of time working out.
Yes.
It's my passion. It's also where I go into it's like my yoga time.
Mm-hmm.
My zenning out. It's my outlet. And I just love doing it. So what I can do is I take my knowledge base of working out, and then I can take that and apply it to my patients.
Beautiful.
Because now I understand how their body feels. Like quite literally, I know the pain that they're feeling because I felt that at some point.
Right.
So that helps me to better serve them. So yeah,
that's great. So I know that you work out. So what do you typically do for a workout? What is your workout regime? How many times a week do you work out?
Okay.
And for someone that's new to fitness and working out, what would you say is an easy way to segue them into working out and general health, just in general health, basically?
Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to take that second part of the question first.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Because a lot of people like see pictures or videos or God forbid movies, and everything's all airbrushed, and when you see a picture in a magazine, it's not like this person strolled up that day and took a picture.
That's right.
That person probably was fasting and dehydrating, and there's a lot of like unhealthiness that goes into it.
Sure.
So as far as somebody getting introduced into this kind of lifestyle, I would say start small. Because everybody's like, I'm going to start this. I'm doing this 6 days a week. I'm going to do this 4 days a week. And then they miss one day. And then the next week they miss 2 days. And now all of a sudden they're at this deficit and they're just like, oh,
you're right.
Quit. I quit it. It's too much.
Absolutely.
So I would say start with small, reasonable goals, such as I want to work out 1 day a week. That way you can get it done. And hey, if you do 2 or 3, then wow. I'm ahead of my schedule. Maybe next week I'll do 2 days. But start off small. So
small as in like walking or because gyms are very intimidating for a lot of people. I go to Barry's and every time I mention Barry's bootcamp, everybody just goes, horror. Or Soul Cycle, they're like, no, because, the image is everybody that does Soul Cycle or Barry's bootcamp or whatever, or CrossFit, you're already in primo shape before you go there.
Right.
So that's the illusion that a lot of people have. I know it's not that way and it's not that way, but what can you say to somebody that can give them the confidence to go from where they are to maybe segueing into something like a CrossFit or Barry's or some type of group fitness class?
A support network.
Yeah.
Whether it be a friend who can commit with you to go on this journey with you, that's huge. And actually that's pretty pervasive in the CrossFit style of working out, which is what I do.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, so I do CrossFit about 6 days a week, sometimes 7. Sometimes I lose track of it, and I'm like, whoa, I better slow down. but it's all about listening to
7 days a week? What?
Yeah. But it's all about staying hydrated and staying healthy and nutrition and sleep and all of this different kind of stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
And also listening to your body's signals, as I just touched on, because if you try to block out these pain signals, they will win eventually. So that's where there's a lot of like body maintenance that goes into this kind of lifestyle. So take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So going back to that, I would say a network, a community of people to help support you and also hold you accountable.
Sure.
People will miss you when you're not there, and they're thinking of you, and they're like, well, where's this person? And now all of a sudden you've got this kind of like peer pressure, like, I guess I'll go work out tomorrow now.
You bet. So everything I do with regards to working out and fitness and eating healthy, it's all centered around the South Bay, most of it. And so where do you work out?
I work out at CrossFit South Bay.
Tell us about CrossFit South Bay, and I know you said community. Tell us about that, and if that's something that somebody can go to and do, and how would you recommend that?
Okay. Well, yeah, I may be biased, but I truly believe that CrossFit South Bay is the best CrossFit gym in the South Bay.
Got you.
And I based that off of the.
And nobody's paying him for this. This is like a testimonial that is like unfiltered. It's not paid for anything. He's just saying it's raw because he believes it. I love that. Go on.
Yeah. CrossFit South Bay was the first CrossFit gym in the South Bay, and I think it opened in 2006. So. Basically, when you have a gym, an old gym like that, you have this whole range of athletes that have been there for a long, long time, which typically means that they're more proficient in their movements, which means that they are faster or better on the workouts.
Right.
They do it more efficiently.
Sure.
And then there's always this influx of new people. So when you have a whole range of that, then you can kind of always walk in on one day and say, I know where their skill set is, I know what theirs is, and so you can kind of chase this person or keep pace and tempo with them, and then somebody else is going to be pacing off of you. You know, so that's the benefit of having like this large, diverse group of people.
You bet.
As opposed to like a newer kind of gym, which I've also worked out at too.
Sure.
Where everybody's trying to still kind of figure out this thing. Like, what is this CrossFit? And they're still trying to get that confidence and motivation and understand the process.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why one of the big things about CrossFit South Bay is that there's everybody there, they know their place, they're confident, and they can help everybody else grow.
I want to ask you a question because I have also done CrossFit before, and I love it. And a lot of people have the illusion that CrossFit is dangerous. Tell us about that and kind of alleviate some of the fears of you know, people thinking they're going to get injured or it's a dangerous form of exercising. What would you say about that?
Excellent. Yeah, I think that can be broken down into a couple points. Okay. The first thing is that CrossFit is there to perfect or hone and make better your functional movement patterns. Functional movement patterns means going from a sitting to a standing position. That's functional, you use that every single day.
Right.
So what CrossFit does is we take that and we take an air squat, which is seated to standing, and we perfect it. We make sure that it moves, that your body moves with the most grace and at ease so that it does less joint damage, less tissue damage, stuff like that, okay? So we're taking that functional movement and then we're gonna perfect it. Now, people come to CrossFit and they've got different holding patterns so their body isn't used to moving these functional movement ways.
Yeah.
But when we say go down and stand back up in an air squat, everybody's like, that's really easy. So they start doing it faster and faster and faster, but they have a dysfunctional movement pattern. So that's where they're going to start feeling these pains and everything. And then it goes back to what we already talked about. If they ignore these pains, they're only going to get worse. Okay?
Right.
Which means it leads me to the second point. A lot of times, I would say a lot of times, throughout our lives or throughout people's lives, we end up not realizing, not understanding that we need to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay? Not just like mentally, spiritually, but actually physically. You need to have a soft tissue component. You need to get in there and have somebody work that out of you.
You bet.
Okay? So when we start introducing a new sport like CrossFit, and we're doing all of these different ranges of things, our body is going to be taxed.
Yes.
So what'll happen is now you need to, it's no longer an option, you need to take care of yourself because you will get injured if you keep going and trying to do a lot of reps, a lot of weight, and then a dysfunctional movement pattern, and that is where the injury comes from.
Yeah. So I totally understand that, I get that, but in this age that we live in, everybody's busy. Everybody's running a million miles an hour. They leave the CrossFit gym or they leave wherever they go and they jump in the car and they pick up the kids or they off to work and blah blah. And it's chaos most of the time for a lot of people, right? So how do you segue body maintenance in with all of that? Is there like a quick 30-minute treatment that you can come in and get, or is there how do you do that for a busy person?
Okay, here's the thing. Put it on your schedule.
Right.
Because if you try to fit it in here or there, like I know I need it so bad, but then your life, right? So you put it on the calendar, you make the schedule. If you come in to see me, I'm going to make you book again before you leave.
Definitely.
Because life will catch up with you.
That's right, and I believe that, and I'm always good at booking my next appointment. I think I have one with you next.
Excellent.
Yes. So can you just tell us a little bit about what you would do if somebody came in and they had like a strained back from lifting something? What would be the whole process, or some of the process that it would go through from checking in with you to going with the treatment?
Yeah. Well, my approach, I don't want to say is atypical. It's pretty thorough. So it begins with us sitting down for a solid, sometimes 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and you did that with me and it was great.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure stuff out.
And I've never had that before. Usually when I go somewhere for the treatment, they just like get in and what's up, and then tell them they start working. You kind of like got the whole picture, where I'm working out, how I'm doing it, how many days, all of it. And when was the last time you had treatment done? The whole thing, and I thought that was really wonderful. That's why I kind of asked you for an interview, because you're very thorough.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So after that history portion, what I would do is try to pick a couple like neurological tests or some sort of orthopedic test.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're just making sure that whatever injury you came to me with isn't because of an orthopedic issue, isn't because of a neurologic issue, because I can help with soft tissue. But if it's some sort of degenerative thing or something like that, then I'm going to refer you out.
Sure.
You know, to somebody who can better serve you.
Definitely.
Okay. But what I do is I can take that history, I can rule stuff in or out based off of these tests, and then I get in there with my hands on and do some soft tissue work.
And you're amazing. You're like a magician. You're amazing.
Well,
Can you just tell us a little bit about AIM, when you're here, telephone numbers, all that kind of good stuff, and how to get in contact with you and all that?
Okay. Well, the first thing that I would do is invite everybody to go to www.aimsportsmedicine.com and kind of just spend some time on that website. You can get a feel. It has biographies of all of the practitioners, all of my cohorts here. So you can pick and choose to make sure you're going to the person that you feel kind of drawn to. Other than that, you could call them at the AIM phone number from the website.
And I will be placing all of the information as well at the end of this, so you'll know exactly all the numbers and everything to call.
Perfect. And I'm here Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So just in closing, can you give us your one philosophy on life, your one philosophy on fitness, on life, and how you know, just anything that you have that's kind of like a mantra for you, or something that you truly believe in?
Ooh, that's a good question. You know, I'm kind of torn between something like a go with the flow, and also just like don't let life get you down.
Yeah.
You know, I see a lot of people, a lot of my patients nowadays, or many of them, not a lot, who kind of like have so much going on, like, oh, I still feel pain here. Oh, I still feel pain here. Like, just let your body adapt to that, you know, and let your mind let your body. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah. Because I think I'm the same way. Sometimes you get so caught up in something that you don't allow your body to kind of do what it needs to do. You're just so caught up in your head, and your body may be healing, and you still think it's not, and so that stops the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I totally understand that.
It's like a self-sabotage kind of thing. Whereas if you just kind of let it go, let your body heal in itself, then before you know it, you'll be back to 100%.
Definitely. Dr. Nathan, thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Anthony.
You're amazing. All right, everyone. So my end of my fitness challenge ends, not my fitness challenge, my 30 days of fitness, it ends on Sunday, which is coming up. Check out all my other videos and stay tuned for my next 30 days of, you'll find out what soon. All right. Thanks, guys. Always thanks for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe right here underneath. Thanks. Bye. Good job.
That was awesome.
Amazing.
That was fun.
You're great.